44 years and built a nation for black people? You can't defend it. That's crazy. You never heard no people say, well, since Bill Clinton cheated on his wife, I don't want to be in America.
That's right.
I thought he was a righteous man.
That's right.
I thought he was a good man. But he cheated on his wife.
That's right.
I don't want to be in America. The hell with America.
That's a shame.
Have you ever heard anybody say that?
No, sir.
Kennedy cheated on his wife. Right or wrong?
Right.
With many women. Now, I'm not saying Elijah Muhammad cheated on his wife.
That's right.
I'm just manifesting the hypocrisy.
That's right.
Some of you right now got Kennedy's picture up in the
That's
house.
right.
Next to Martin Luther King.
That's right.
Right? And the white Jesus.
That's right.
You got Kennedy right there. Kennedy liked black people.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what we say.
That's right.
He's the only president, him and Lincoln, who I cared about.
That's right.
This man was having sex with everything that had two legs.
Oh, that hurts.
That wasn't a man. Y'all with me?
That's right.
Everything. Had the Secret Service letting him know when Jackie was coming home. So he could put the women out the back door of the White House. But black people love Kennedy. What did he do for black people?
No. That's right.
Nothing.
He didn't do nothing for black folks.
Talk about
Ain't
it.
checking with us.
All these rappers that we idolize, they in the video got naked women everywhere. Butt shaking all in their face.
That's right.
Having sex with all these women.
Tell the truth.
And you never hear nobody say, oh damn man, I don't like hip hop no more because this nigga cheated on his wife.
That's right.
Right?
Come on now.
Right.
He's having sex with all these women.
That's
So I
right.
can't be in hip hop no more.
Come on with it.
You never heard that, right?
Never.
And they ain't doing nothing for black people. So now, could that be the reason why Malcolm X left the nation? The senators didn't say I don't want to be an American when they found out Kennedy was cheating on his wife.
That's right.
They didn't say they didn't want to be an American anymore. See, white people, they don't judge their leaders based on the mistakes they make.
That's right.
They judge their leaders based on what they do.
That's right.
You read Kennedy's biography, it's not sitting there talking about, yeah, he had sex with so many women, he put Bill Clinton to shame.
Yeah.
You know, you don't read that.
Never.
They talk about the great accomplishments of the man. Right or wrong.
That's right.
Right.
So now, why can't we be the same way?
Why not?
'Cause we
As
need
black
to-
people.
That's
Why
right.
not?
You understand? The only leader whose domestic life we concern ourselves with
That's right.
and say, I can't be with that
That's
man
right.
because he had more than one wife is Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
That's right.
Now let's put everything on the table.
Let's put it on the table.
What does the Holy Quran say first? The Holy Quran says that a Muslim man can have up to 4 wives.
That's right.
Now let's be all clear. In the nation of Islam, we cannot have 4 wives.
That's right.
Now it is in the Holy Quran.
Make it plain.
But it's not for us because of the condition that we're in as black people.
That's right.
See, if we had more than one wife,
That's right.
then it would just be about sex.
That's right.
Right? And that's all it would be about. One wife may be living at home with her mother. One wife may be in an apartment.
No shame.
One wife may be in a shack somewhere.
No shame.
And we're just, whoever ain't mad at us, that's the one we'll be with.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? See, God allows polygamy for a reason. Are y'all with me?
That's right.
Now you can, I know. Some of y'all like, I don't give a damn
Come on,
what
bro.
the Holy
Make
Quran
it
says.
plain.
Well, what they talk
I don't care. It's wrong. And you know, it is wrong. But see, polygamy is not a good thing.
That's right.
It's very painful.
That's right.
But see, you have to understand why God allows it. He allows it because if he didn't allow it under certain circumstances only, then it would lead to even greater evils.
That's right.
Are y'all with me? What greater evils are you talking about?
Uh-oh.
See, in a society where you have more women than you have men,
That's right.
or you have men that go off to war and they die in the
That's
war,
right.
and they leave their wives with their children,
Listen
right?
now.
Come on.
See, if no man steps up to be a father and to be a man, then how is the woman going to provide for those children?
That's right.
That's right.
She may have to go turn some tricks, right?
That's right.
That's right.
You look at America right now.
Talk about it.
The black woman is almost abandoned by the black man.
That's right.
That's
Right or wrong?
That's right.
And these men aren't standing up being a man.
That's right.
Some of them want to be other than a man.
That's right.
That's right.
Some of them want to be a woman.
That's right.
So you got all these sisters out here with all these children and no man to be a father to those children.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So now, what do? Do you have the woman in the club stripping to pay for diapers? Is that what you have? Do you have the woman as a video? I can't say the other word, but you know the sisters that be in the videos.
Dance.
We know.
A video dancer? Is that what she should turn to? Should she be a loose woman so she can get money to provide for her family? Or should a man step up and provide for the family and for those children?
Bring
What
it
should
out.
happen?
That's right.
Or we get the society we have now. You have all these black children waiting to be adopted. Why are they waiting to be adopted?
That's right.
Because ain't no man that'll step up.
Come on
Right or
now.
wrong?
That's
That's right.
So the problem is there. You have all these women getting abortions. Black women, right?
Disgrace. Yes, it is.
Because there's no men. So now, God allows polygamy under certain circumstances. That's not the norm in Islam. The rule in Islam is one husband and one wife.
That's right.
That's the rule in Islam. Polygamy is only as an exception in certain circumstances. Are y'all following what I'm saying?
That's
That's right.
So now, let's look at it. If you look in the Bible, in the Holy Quran, most of the prophets of God had more than one wife.
That's right.
Right? Abraham had more than one wife. Right or wrong?
That's right.
Abraham had 3 wives, Sarah, Hagar, and Keturah. Right?
Come on now.
Right.
Moses had 2 wives. David had 2 or 3 wives. Solomon, he had 1,000 wives. So now, if Elijah Muhammad is the messenger of God, right? If he's the messenger of God, and the Holy Quran, I'm going to read it to you in just a second, says the messenger of God would have a certain number of wives. Then you have to ask God, well, why did you allow that to happen? So how could Malcolm X, who knew the Bible and the Holy Quran, right, say, well, I can't be with Elijah Muhammad
Uh-oh.
because I found out that he had more than one wife.
Make a point.
But then he could be with Prophet Muhammad,
That's
Come
right.
on.
right?
That's
Who
right.
had 9 wives.
That's
He
right.
could be with Abraham that had 3 wives.
That's right.
He could be with Solomon that had 1,000 wives. Y'all following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
How can he rationalize that in his head when Elijah Muhammad is the man that brought him from nothing and made him a world leader? When I say a world leader, I'm talking about when the king of Arabia came to America, and that king had more than one wife. He met with Malcolm X in New York.
That's right.
That's right.
When Castro came from Cuba, he met with Malcolm X in New York.
That's right.
When Patrice Lumumba came from Africa, he met with Malcolm X in New York.
That's right.
Kwame Nkrumah, all of them met with Malcolm X. Now you know that if you're out of prison, right, what king and ruler wants to be with you?
That's right.
How
That's
many
right.
kings and rulers right now are meeting with ex-convicts?
I don't know
You
it.
can't even get a job as an ex-convict, right?
That's right.
So now, this man's teachings took him from an ex-con and made him into a world leader, where he's meeting with kings and rulers. So now, how could he, now that he finds out that the man that saved his life and gave him life,
Talk about it.
that this man, because he has more than one wife, is not a good man? Was that the real reason
Uh-oh.
that Malcolm X left the nation? Or was the government involved? Let's see. Now I want to read to you something from the autobiography of Malcolm X. He says, but I am spending many hours, when he's talking about his life story, because the full story is the best way that I know to have it seen and understood, that I had sunk to the very bottom of the American white man society, when soon now in prison I found Allah and the religion of Islam, and it completely transformed my life.
It's all one.
We're talking about the words of Malcolm X,
Talk about it.
150 of page 150 of his autobiography. Now Malcolm X met with African kings, and they had more than one wife, right?
Yes,
If you
sir.
study the history of Africa, the rulers had more than one wife,
Straight up.
right?
That's right.
Now, the sheikhs in Arabia, they had more than one wife.
That's right.
Now, if you study ancient Egypt, because we love to study ancient Egypt,
Yes, sir.
you don't say, well, I can't be with Ramses
Right.
because he had more than one wife.
Make it
right.
plain.
I can't respect King Tut
Make it plain.
because he had more than one wife. I
No,
can't
right.
get down with Akhenaten
Yeah.
Because he had more than one wife.
Come on now.
All the pharaohs had more than one wife.
Yes, sir.
But you don't turn on the TV and all they talking about, damn, Ramses had more than one wife.
Come on.
They don't say, well, you know, they built the pyramids, but damn, they had more than one wife.
Yeah.
You never read that.
No, sir.
People don't even concern themselves with that.
That's right.
Do that. Come on, we got to put it all on the table today.
Lay it out there.
Now, let's look at what does the Holy Quran say? Because you will say, well, see, Elijah Muhammad was a hypocrite of what he taught. Because he did one thing, right? And he told the brothers to do something else.
That's right.
Right? You may say, well, he's a hypocrite.
That's right.
But what does the Holy Quran say?
That's
Come on
right.
now.
I'm going to
Bring
read
it
to
on.
you what the Holy
Bring it
Quran
on.
says. Because this book is the best and greatest defense of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's
You
right.
can't even judge him unless you read the book. Y'all with me?
Yes.
Let's go to 33 verse 50.
Bring the light.
33 verse 50. Now, in 33 verse 50, it's talking about the domestic life of the prophet. In the first sentence, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's a long verse. It says, O prophet, we have made lawful to thee thy wives. Y'all got that?
That's right.
Made lawful to thee thy wives.
Very clear.
Then God, in speaking to Muhammad, goes on to say, because the reason I'm bringing this up is because the Christian writers, when they talk about Prophet Muhammad, they say, well, the prophet was allowed 9 wives, right? And the other Muslims at that time were not allowed 9 wives.
That's right.
So the writers against the prophet of 1400 years ago say that that's hypocrisy. That's what they say.
Come on.
But the Holy Quran says, God says, O prophet, we have made lawful to thee thy wives, right?
Yes, sir.
Then he goes on to say, Allah goes on to say, let me read it. If she gives herself to the prophet, if the prophet desires to marry her, Allah says it is especially for thee and not for the believers.
Pretty clear.
Did y'all hear what he said?
Yes, sir.
That's what God said.
That's
It is
right.
especially for thee and not for the believers.
Rewind that.
We know what we have ordained for them concerning their wives
That's right.
and those whom their right hand possess, in order that no blame may be attached to thee.
Oh, watch out.
So Allah told the prophet that what he ordered him to do was especially for him
That's right.
and not for the believers.
Come on now.
So if any brother tells you, well, see, the Holy Quran says we can have 4 wives, so you can be my wife number 2, you tell him to go to hell.
That's right.
You can punch him in his mouth
That's right.
Oh,
and
that
then
hurts.
tell him to go to hell. That's not what we're talking. Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then after you punch him in the mouth, you can say, Brother Abdul said, punch him in the mouth. Now, but let's see.
Yes, sir.
That's what the Holy Quran says. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, see, you have to ask the question, why would God have Elijah Muhammad to get involved in this type of lifestyle? Why would he do something like that? And it's very emotional. And I want you to be clear. See, Elijah Muhammad was not a lustful man.
That's right.
He was not that. I'm a follower of Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
And I know, based on my own life experience, that he was a righteous and a holy man. I know this without a doubt.
Straight up.
Because I know that when I came to Islam, and I accepted what he taught through the Honorable Louis Farrakhan.
That's right.
I was a high school student, and I went to college. And on my college campus, there were some very beautiful black women. And I wanted to be with them. I really did.
I'm sure you
But the
Right.
thing that prevented me from being with them was what Elijah Muhammad taught and how he made me into a real man.
That's
Come on.
right.
Are y'all following what I'm
Yes,
saying?
Yes, sir.
See, we're natural men like anybody else.
Natural.
Elijah Muhammad is a natural man. And see, when he was on the run for 7 years, he could have cheated on his wife.
That's
then.
right.
If that was in his heart to do. He's all over the country, not seeing his wife for 7 years.
Come on.
Talk.
Now, if you marry, right, to a woman, and you're not having relations with your wife, that may be a trial for you, right?
Straight up.
Now, I don't know if you can last 7 years being married and not being able to be with your wife. And there's other beautiful women out there, right? And they're attracted to you.
It's a hell of a
I don't
thing.
know. And then, after being away from your wife 7 years,
That's right.
then you go to jail
That's
for
right.
5 years.
Come on now.
Come on
Right?
about that.
Because you're trying to give black people the truth.
That's right.
Right? So now that's 12 years that this man was away from his wife and away from his family, and there is no record of him being other
That's right.
than a righteous
That's
man.
right. Come on.
What's that of a luxuary, then that should have been the time he should have been involved in that.
Right.
Because he was a young man.
That's right.
He didn't start taking wives until he was 62.
Yeah.
He wasn't out in the club at 62. Talking about back that thing up.
Right.
He wasn't doing that.
That's right.
See, it has to be another reason
That's right. Right.
why he was allowed by God to take more than one wife.
Yes, sir.
Because most of us in here, we're young. And the brothers know that when you're young, you know, your sex drive is a little bit strong. Right? But as a young man, he had his sex drive in check. And he teaches us how to do the same thing. So now, see, brothers and sisters, we have to realize that God sees further than what we see. The children of Elijah Muhammad by Sister Clara Muhammad, they're not here helping the Honorable Louis Farrakhan and helping black people right now. They're not doing that. See, they're like the child in your house who grew up in the house so close to the father that they became blinded by the father. You understand what I'm saying? Even though they can't say anything bad that the father has done, right? Anything legitimately bad. See, because you may have got a whooping and you said that was bad, right? But you didn't say what you did to get the whooping. You understand what I'm saying? You may have been talking back to your mama and got smacked dead in the mouth. And you say, that's why I don't like my mama, because she smacked me in my mouth. But you don't talk about how you was talking back, right?
Right.
So now, what I'm saying, there is no legitimate thing that they can say that he did wrong towards them. But because they grew up in his house, they didn't view him like millions of others
right.
viewed him. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like all your child's friends, they be like, man, your mama is so cool. And they look at their friends like, what? My mama is a lame. What are you talking about?
Right.
My mama make me sick. But the friends see something that you may not see. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So y'all got that.
Yes, sir.
But now, the children by the wives, the other wives of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, those children are here with Minister Farrakhan.
That's right.
Come on.
They're helping him to reach black people. Minister Ishmael is helping him.
That's right.
Minister Rasul is helping
That's
him.
right.
Come on now.
Brother Kamal is helping him.
Yes, sir.
The children of his other wives
Yes, sir.
are helping in the work and the foundation that
That's
the Father laid.
That's right. Come on.
See, Allah is the best knower.
That's right. Sir.
We're not the best knowers.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah. So now, it couldn't be that because Elijah Muhammad had more than one wife, that Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam. That couldn't be it, right? Could it be that he went to Mecca and he saw white Muslims and he realized that Elijah Muhammad had lied to him about Islam? Well, see, some things that we're not told, because most of us learn about Malcolm X from watching the movie, right?
That's right.
That's how we learn about him. But the movie is not factual.
That's right.
Malcolm X went to Mecca in 1959.
Talk about that.
Well, he went to the Middle East in 1959. And when he went to the Middle East, he saw white Muslims
Listen
there.
now.
Elijah Muhammad sent him as a representative of the Nation of Islam to the Middle East in 1959. He saw white Muslims then, and he didn't say, well, no, Elijah Muhammad must have lied. In fact, he brought back slides and examples of racism in the Middle East, of how the white Arabs mistreated the black people who were Muslims.
Come on now, make
And
it
he
plain.
showed that slideshow at Mosque number 7 in New York.
Come on.
So he couldn't have been under the illusion
That's right.
that there are white Muslims and I ate out of the bowl with them, and that made me realize that there was no racism.
What's going on?
Right.
And then when he came back, why didn't he let white people join the OAAU and the Muslim Mosque Incorporated.
That's right.
If it was all of a sudden a big brotherhood.
Yeah.
You understand? See, some of you are under the impression that Malcolm X evolved past what Elijah Muhammad taught. And now he wanted to include everybody. Well then, why is it that Malcolm X had the gun? Y'all with me? You heard the ballad of the bullet, right? Either we get the right to vote, or we're going to go to war with white people. See, in the nation, we don't carry guns.
That's right.
When Malcolm X left the nation, he advocated armed struggle against white people. Right?
Necessary.
Y'all heard that, right?
Yes, sir.
So now, but if he's so inclusive, why is he starting rifle clubs among black people?
Yes, sir.
We're scared the hell out of white people. See, white people don't have no problem with you having a gun as long as you shooting each other.
Right.
But as soon as you
Right.
start shooting them, then all the guns would vanish off the street. All of them.
Yes, sir.
That's the quickest way to get rid of the guns. Have the gangbangers shoot white people, and the guns would disappear. Now I want y'all to be clear.
Yeah.
We don't want you leaving here today shooting anybody.
Right.
Black, white, brown, red, or yellow. We're just making a point that if you were to turn your guns on white people, then you would not have any guns to turn, because they would instantly get them off the street. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, now, I gotta move quickly. There's so much to cover in the assassination of Malcolm X. But I gotta deal quickly with the discrepancies in the movie. Because most of y'all, you didn't read the book. You just watched the movie.
Come on out
Right?
to that
So let's
truth.
deal with the movie.
That's right.
Now, the first thing you got to know, Malcolm X was not poor. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in the 1950s, when bread was a nickel, when you go grocery shopping, get 10 bags, $5. This man paid Malcolm X a salary of $1,000 every week. Now, I don't want you to put your business out in the street, but most of you in this room are not being paid $1,000 a week, tax-free, right now.
Right.
And it's 2005, we talking 1955. This man is getting $1,000 a week salary.
They didn't know that.
Come on, I ain't tell you that.
Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told Malcolm X, look, you can't move anywhere unless you got $500 in your pocket. You can't even step out the house unless you got $500 in your pocket. Don't move. Not only that, Malcolm X's teeth, before he became a Muslim, they were jacked up like most black folks.
Yes, sir.
Who paid to get his teeth fixed?
Come on now.
The Malcolm X you see, he got straight teeth.
Yeah, you do.
The teeth look good, don't they?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you do.
But that's not the Malcolm X that came in the nation from prison. The brother's grill, he had the chip tooth, you know what I'm saying? He had it all jacked up in there. But who paid to get it fixed so he could represent the Nation of Islam to the world?
Yes.
Elijah Muhammad. If you ever go to Malcolm X College, there's a car that belonged to Malcolm X. Who bought him that car? Malcolm X's car was bought by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He paid the car note, paid the insurance, and he put Malcolm X in what you would consider a mini mansion
Yes, sir.
in New Rochelle, New York, and he paid the mortgage in his house.
Come on.
Are y'all with me?
Come on now.
So, Malcolm X was not hurting for any money while he was representing the Honorable Elijah
That's
Muhammad.
right.
Not at all.
Nice.
Because I wish I got paid $1,000 a week right now.
Yes, sir.
And it had all my other expenses paid for, please.
That's right. That's right.
Didn't have to pay electricity, gas, light. Didn't have to pay none of that. So, he wasn't poor. Y'all got that?
Yes, sir.
The movie tries to portray him as poor, right? Now, when Malcolm X was in prison, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote him letters. Some of y'all got family in prison right now, and you've never written them a letter.
That's right.
And that's your family. Here's a man that wrote somebody he didn't even know and sent him money in prison. $5 a letter. Now that's he went to prison in what, 52? Something like that. He came out in 52. He went to prison in 47. Heard about the teachings in 48. Come on, $5 in prison? What do you need $5 for? How long will $5 last you in jail? Come on. Now, in the movie, it shows Malcolm X in prison, and he meets a brother named Brother Bangs, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's a totally fictional person.
Come on now.
There was nobody ever named Brother Bangs. Malcolm X didn't become a Muslim because another convict told him about Islam.
Expose that. That's right.
Malcolm X became a Muslim because his brother Reginald
That's right.
had become a Muslim.
Come on now.
His whole Wilbert and Filbert became Muslims. Ella became a Muslim, right? And they wanted Malcolm to become a Muslim, so they sent Reginald to prison to talk to Malcolm X about the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
First thing he told him, look, if you stop eating pork and smoking, I'm going to tell you how to get out of jail. That was the first thing he told him, to stop eating swine.
Come on now.
Some of you in this room need to stop eating swine.
That's right.
So there was no Brother Baines. That's a fictional character.
Straight out.
Now, in the movie, while he's in jail, he has this vision of Elijah Muhammad.
Come on now.
Right?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Oh.
That never happened.
That's right.
He never had a vision of Elijah Muhammad in jail.
That's right.
He did have a vision,
That's
but
right.
it wasn't of Elijah
How about
Muhammad.
that?
It was a masterful
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Come on now.
So now you have all these things in the movie that are not true. The movie doesn't even mention that Malcolm X went to the Middle East in 1959.
That's right.
Doesn't even mention it. Y'all got that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now, the movie says in the movie that the wives of Elijah Muhammad filed paternity suits against him. And Malcolm X read it in the newspaper, and that's how he found out
Yeah, that's what
about the domestic life of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But that's not how he found out about the domestic life of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. When Wallace Muhammad, the son of Elijah Muhammad, got out of prison in 1963, he invited Malcolm X to his house along with Minister Farrakhan. But Minister Farrakhan didn't go, only Malcolm went. And Wallace Muhammad is the one that told Malcolm X about the wives of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
But Malcolm X was familiar with this book.
That's
Oh, yeah,
right.
he
He
was.
knew about this
They
book.
do that. Yes, sir.
But the thing that hurt Malcolm X is he was in love with a sister named Evelyn.
Uh-oh.
And he was out doing a lot of great work for Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
But he was in love with Sister Evelyn,
That's right.
but he didn't want any other brother to marry Sister Evelyn.
That's right.
So he sent Sister Evelyn to Chicago to become one of the secretaries of Elijah Muhammad, because he figured, look, if she's in Chicago and she's in the house of the messenger, then no brother can get to her. When I'm finished doing all my work, then I'll marry Sister Evelyn. Y'all got that?
That's right.
Okay.
Now, but what hurt Malcolm X was that he found out that Elijah Muhammad had married Sister Evelyn.
Right.
And that broke his heart because he was in love with her, according to his own words.
That's right.
These are not words that I'm making up.
That's right.
Okay.
These are the words of Malcolm X himself,
That's right.
that he had a relationship with Sister Evelyn, who was in Boston at the time. Y'all got that?
Yes, sir.
But she went to Chicago based on Malcolm X's instructions. So there was a lot of pain in Malcolm's heart.
Yes.
But he knew that Elijah Muhammad wasn't acting outside of the religion of Islam. He knew it and could defend it. Are y'all with me?
Go ahead.
And he even told the minister that he knew it and could defend it, right? So now, but in the movie, it says, well, that these wives had filed paternity suits against Elijah Muhammad, and that's how Malcolm found out. But in reality, when Malcolm X left the nation, see, the wives had no desire to file paternity suits
That's right.
against Elijah Muhammad. But when Malcolm X left the nation, he encouraged them
That's right.
to file paternity suits against Elijah Muhammad. Got the lawyer and everything. Are y'all with me?
That's right.
So there are a lot of discrepancies
A
with the
lot.
movie
Come on
that are
now.
not necessarily true.
Yes.
Now, and see,